Good morning, gang. I'm experimenting again with recording some videos that I can use for teaching, and I thought I'd put a voiceover on the drawing that I did this morning, my morning coffee sketch with the magpies, and finished with the magpie. So let's go into it, and I'll try and keep up with what I was doing and show you how I put it all together. So I began obviously with a blank canvas. I put in a separate layer and I filled that layer with orange, and I kept that hue consistent all the way through the drawing. And then I made another layer on top of that orange layer and I started drawing into it with a lighter version of the orange. It's not actually white, it's a light version of the orange, and as you might imagine, I'm using Nico Roll. And when I got done doing the drawing, I duplicated this layer. And then instead of working on the top layer, I worked on the layer that was one down, and I started to fill it with a very dark version of the color. You'll see that in a minute. So I'm still drawing on the top layer, and pretty soon I'm going to duplicate. Okay, I've duplicated the layer, and now I'm working under that top layer. And you can see that I can still see the lines as I fill the drawing under the top layer. Then I wasn't happy with it being so dark, so on that layer I went to the end button and reduced the opacity. And now I've come back and I've put another layer on the very, very top. And I'm working in black line, or very dark line, on the very, very top. So we've got at least 4 layers going by the time I'm doing this. And again, I filled that in, and I was thinking, okay, I might put a little bit more dark in some of those mid values. So I did pretty much the same thing. I built the drawing up, and then in a minute I duplicate the layer, and I put the fill layer one underneath the very top layer. I know it sounds confusing. I don't actually intend to do any of these things. I just make them up as I go along. So still drawing on the very top layer at the moment, but shortly I might do a bit of a raising here, I think, around the chair with that way that stem of the umbrella comes through the chair. I'll probably play with that. I put in another building in the background, putting in more vegetation, just trying to build the drawing up, give it some more complexity. Changing things around a little bit. Bit slow through here, sorry. Probably not far off the pace that I'm actually doing the drawing, maybe a little bit slower. Okay, so now I've made, as I said, I would have duplicated that dark layer and taken it one down from the top. So I'm working one down from the top. And what I discovered was that when I started to drop and fill the dark colors, it filled too many spaces. So I'm just gone back up. No, I'm still in the second layer down. And I'm just trying to block in some edges so that I can confine the shapes when I want to bring the dark colours in. You can see it's a little bit more contained there. And I'm looking for a balance of light and dark. I'm working now with 2 or 3 values with orange. And okay, so I felt like I was happy with that, and I thought, now, okay, what can I do? I'll bring in one of my morning visitors. We have 2 magpies that come and visit us pretty much most morning and spend their afternoons on our lawns looking for bugs and worms. And this was just freehand from imagination, so a bit of time trying to work that out. I did that on a separate layer, and then when I did it actually on 2 layers. I did a white layer and a black layer, and then merged them together. And I had a bit of trouble getting them to merge and not join the rest of it. Okay, so now I'm trying to drop that on its layer on top of the original drawing. And then I just did something tricky. I just used the transform tool and made a little bit of movement across, generating an animation. Don't worry about that. It's maybe a little tricky. And brought it back and took it out. Then I thought maybe it could do with another bird. So I went and cut and pasted a bird that I'd drawn in a different canvas and brought it into this canvas, gave it its own layer, traced it with a layer on top, and then eventually got rid of the layer below and just started working on the drawing of the bird. I started to work from imagination, trying to get the proportions and the balance and the magpie-ness of it happening. I probably got better and worse than that. And then introduced it into the drawing, but when I put it where I thought it might go, sitting on the edge of the bird bath, I just really wasn't all that happy with it. So eventually you'll see that I decided not to use it at all. So here we tried putting it in different places in the bird bath, and no, I'd probably say that drawing's okay. Wasn't happy with it, played with it a little bit more. You could say I could have probably left it there, and it's interesting because it's got two birds involved in it. And then I went back on the very, just above the orange layer at the very bottom, I came and brought some white in. I thought it might be a way of integrating the birds in, and then I knocked that white back by making it slightly opaque. And in the end, I figured that this was where I would like it to be. I wanted to get the contrast between the white on the magpie and the light value in the drawing, and not have that light value in the drawing be so white that it comes forward and overpowers the magpie. So there you go. That was the great sequence of things. I hope you got some value out of this, and let me know.